couldn't do the number two because I clicked the wrong one first, which was the microphone. So I actually want to address something with that. What I want to address is that I can't change the order of my audio of where my audio guys are, so that way I wouldn't make that mistake. I tried and literally can't move them. At least I can't find a way to move them at the moment. Yeah, no, I have been unable to reorganize them because my muscle memory just goes from left to right. But in this situation, my microphone is the first one to click every time. Whoopsie. Actually, really fast. Everybody speak. Speak just in case. I knew it. Hold on. I had a feeling. Wait. It should be working.
I
Speak now.
Baking.
I have
that
no. I don't know. But it's fixed now, so don't you worry. I'm glad I checked that. I was like,
Okay.
I mean, nobody said anything, right? I wasn't listening.
that
And Jackson has been replaced by a duck.
I have. It's true.
I'm sorry if I sound nasally. I'm sure everybody has heard over the last couple days that my allergies have been just destroying me. And maybe a cold? It's like a little bit of both. And neither. It's weird. It's the weirdest allergies I've ever had. It seems different than usual. But hey, I'm here, and that's what matters. So, welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm your host, Isaac, MCCanary, pronouns Eddie, and it's time for more Mothership. Everybody get on the Mothership and introduce yourselves to the character you're playing.
Hello, I'm Jackson, he, him, playing Fred. Probably
Hi.
him.
My name is Talking. Nope. My name is Sean, also known as the Talking Skull. He, him, and I'll be playing Kolya.
I don't know why, but it was very entertaining for me to believe that you would have accidentally just said my name is the Talking Skull and I go by Sean.
It seemed it. You're either brilliant or it seemed intentional. Or it was good.
That's how we've been on the internet long enough. Our handles are our names to a certain extent. I was
Yeah.
not Isaac for a period of my life. This is just a fact.
Well, and I use TK for my handle in any kind of like situation where I can provide a name. So, like, that's very much. I identify as both.
Yeah.
I I identify as both myself and a skeleton.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And we're back. We're back on the Mothership. We're in our this is our review. This is your quarterly review period. What I actually, man, why didn't I think of that sooner? That's a wonderful bit to make that. That's totally thematic to this general hellhole that I've been working on. So, what is your guys' quarterly report based on what we've gotten to so far?
Not
Austin,
great.
what do you remember?
The elevator.
Fred always puts on his report that he got on the elevator. He puts that every time.
Mhm. I believe. Go for it.
You.
I believe the last thing that the Fred party did was shuffle on out of a base that was being overrun.
Uh, Kolya studied some friends and learned some information about their behavior and things about their physiology.
Now here's something scaringly important. That all happened the session before last session, so now I'm really worried if anybody remembers what happened last time.
Was last session the one where I talked to the lady with the artifact?
Yes, you Kolya had
I
made
got
it.
mixed up as to which order that happened in.
Yes, you had just made it to some of the one of the refugee camps that you had heard about some number of sessions prior, and Fred, whilst you did leave the municipal station, something else of pretty significant note did happen for your party last time.
We're down one Billy.
You are down one Billy,
We don't got a Billy.
and we don't know. I have him. I have him right here. See?
Oh
T
yeah.
C. Well, nope, that's my T.
I was gonna say that's a right side up
Gee.
cup.
There he
Oh,
is.
there it is.
There he is. I found him. He's there. He's been waiting there for 3 weeks. He hasn't moved.
I was gonna say it definitely hasn't been bumped. The die has not moved at all.
I will say this, it's only technically been bumped once because I originally where I put it wasn't on this box, but I can guarantee that it hasn't moved off the box even when I moved the box. And I haven't heard it move. So who knows? Maybe he had a complication. Or maybe he got better. I don't know.
I got better.
Got better.
I got better. But yeah, currently I believe you guys are both on your your mission directed paths. Fred was still trying to get to Rhea and is actually currently on the last kind of leg to actually arrive at the pylon. In Kolya, you were stopped in a kind of refugee camp on the same deck to the location you were trying to get to with Maison and Quincy to try to gain access to the Rosebud Laboratories on this station. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they want clarified? Anything they can't remember?
I'll just add that I had talked to the lady with the funny artifact that to my memory, did I walk away with that?
You are actually still engaged with that. Where we left
Okay.
off, you were actively engaged with that situation. So
Okay.
I don't think you have. If you have, she will yell at you.
Well, because I remember.
Yes.
I guess I just don't remember exactly what off that.
We kind of left off. We started that scene, and then it was getting late by the time we had gotten to that scene, and I wanted to like spend some time to like kind of cook some details. So we kind of left off in the middle of that scene because I also wanted to hash some stuff regarding that artifact. So I wanted to process a little more. So yeah, you at least where we left off, Polia is either still nearby or still engaged with that artifact. So I was preparing to finish out that seed either way.
I might need a little bit of an on ramp to that because your answer was not a bad answer, but that's none of that told me where we left off in the scene.
Oh, I that is a good point. Now I'm like, all I remember is that we were halfway through the seed, and I'm like, wait, what was the exact last thing that was said? So I can't remember if you asked something. It felt like you asked something, but I can't remember what specifically the question was. So that's my bad. Oops. Here, let me check something really fast just in case.
To the archives.
To the archives. Did I do a good enough job taking notes. We all know the answer of this because, as far as I'm concerned, nobody takes good notes when they're in the shit. But maybe that's just me.
No, it's hard to take good notes. As the
Yeah.
GM, you've just got too much going on.
I
Yeah.
I actually think that the hard part about trying to take notes while doing it is that the note trying to take notes themselves takes so much time when I want to keep the pace up. So I don't
Yeah.
write anything down sometimes.
That's what I said. um,
Glad we agree. Great. It seems that the notes I took all pertained to the experience you had Colia in your brain, and a couple of other notes. And nothing about what actually the last thing that you said to her was. Oh, I do think you did ask her if you could take the artifact. I do.
yeah.
Yes, I think that is specifically what it was. Good. I would get there eventually. See, this is my thing. I don't think my memory is bad because I don't remember anything. It's just usually locked in some random cabinet inside of my brain. And no matter how much I try to organize outside of it, it doesn't seem to help the organization inside at all. Um, but yeah, if that sounds right. I believe that was the last thing that you had asked.
Okay.
Jackson, did you have any other curiosities that Fred would like to know?
I think I'm good. I think I remember enough that I'm good to go.
Okay. Then this always brings up the famous question that I ask every
We know
time.
we know the
Who
answer.
who first? I'm gonna ask.
I'll go because I know Jackson doesn't want to.
All right,
I appreciate our routines.
you're our
This is the
dynamic.
one time where it would have actually been useful for me to go second. But all right,
And
I will go
if
first.
you need me to, like, yeah, I can do it.
You gonna are you gonna are listen? I'm just saying. I kind of
It
agree
sounds like he
with
needs me to go first.
I kind of agree with Sean on this one, but I don't want to break tradition.
I'm a man of tradition and nothing else.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, Jackson.
That sounds sad for you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Fred. We're gonna have to process your emotions now. All right. Where we last left off, the half of the crew for the Nelly were on their way to Rhea. There was an incident that had happened not more than an hour before. And you, Fred, Joanna, and Lydia were able to continue on, leaving behind Billy to an uncertain fate. What what is Fred thinking at this moment?
I'll vocalize it.
Okay.
I just kind of lean to the right a little bit and then just say, "What's it all for?" Uh, Billy's dead and he becomes a monster. Billy's
Joanne, in having taken another poll, from a bottle that she's been nursing. Says, "You don't know that."
Well, that's one half of it. Billy's dead and he became a monster, or Billy's alive and he'll never forgive us. And honestly, like, we're gonna be going back through here at some point. It's
Joanna shakes
what's
her
even gonna
head.
be left.
Joanna shakes her head and kind of lulls and just says, "All that I'm concerned with right now is what's in front of us."
Now it makes sense. I'm just
Just keep driving, Fred.
it's all got me right now.
Your mind on the road.
Yeah.
Lydia is kind of noticeably shaken. She is kind of avoiding eye contact at the moment. She is kind of inaudibly muttering, but you have no idea what she's saying out loud. You continue on kind of one of these long corridors that you become familiar with, having driven down a lot of between the stations, between the kind of transit stations of the Titan pylon. This one seeming to stretch on longer than any of the ones before, given that it is particularly lengthy. You can give credit to the work that Milsect has been doing, as it seems that while there was always a sense of stillness before, but with a sense of unease and uncertainty of what's around, it seems that truly the space along this tramway is completely still. There doesn't seem to be any activity at all, though it seems to stretch on for a long time, with the occasional interruption of a charging region or a pit stop. There isn't anything that's like the actual transit stations along. It just seems to go on off into the distance, curving up and away.
Actually, I do vocalize that as well. I say, I should have refueled back when we were back at the station, when we're back in Milsect. I didn't think about that.
Um, Joanna takes a look at the takes a look at like the energy meter, and she says, "Why? It's got plenty of juice."
I know, but it's nice to be topped off. We didn't fully top off when we could because we were a little short on credits, so we only got most of a tank, and then I know we didn't drive much after that, so we still got most of a tank, but yeah, just call it. I just feel a little bit better if
Oh,
we
go
could
ahead.
drive a little longer. Just drive and drive.
I'm gonna make a note, and I want you to roll something for me, Jackson. Roll me 2d6. Or 2d6, 2d... Yeah, 2d10. I don't know why I said 2d6. 2d10. My
Oh
bad.
no!
Don't
If
say
this is
that.
if this is for like what percentage we have left in fuel, I rolled a 2 and a 9.
Okay. Nah, I was gonna be more generous than that. As 2d10, you look at the ticker on the energy meter. It doesn't really. It has like an energy meter to show like how much energy is in the kind of like internal battery storage. But
Yeah.
it says approximately 11 hours of usage remain
Oh,
inside of the battery.
okay. Yeah.
It does. I will say the the maximum. I would say it's about a little bit above the like kind of percentage is around 60. It's around 60%. So you
Okay.
could charge it more, but it seems to have a pretty good battery, especially since um, other than when you first acquired it, you haven't really stressed the vehicle much since then.
Yeah. All right.
Um, as you are heading through the um, let me check my spot. Let me check my spot. Let me make sure you don't get no notes. You anticipate for the ride to Rhea to take about um, from Titan Pylon to Rhea. Let me do some quick brain gymnastics.
Quick maths.
Yeah. Yeah, it's approximately takes you about 45 minutes to get there without stopping. And I'll say like you guys got like 15 minutes in 15 to 20 minutes in um having left uh Titan Pylon. Are you just driving all the way through to the end? Is there anything that you want to do, or any ideas that you have that you want to discuss?
Can't think of
Red?
anything to stop. I can't think of anything to stop for, and at this point, I'm disinclined to stop. It feels
Right.
quiet, which is good. So,
Mm-hmm.
as you're saying, it does feel like Millsect actually did their job. But I think we just sort of got the wind knocked out of us, and we don't really want to get out and be active and do jumping jacks and stuff. Like we're just driving and letting the artificial air hit our faces.
Yeah. I would say you guys have kind of a prolonged ride. Um, it feels certainly draining, um,
I
especially
think
not
about
knowing more than that whatever happened at the checkpoint, at the garrison checkpoint, was not good. It certainly feels like an amount of tension and uncertainty has been placed on you. So, what's up? You were gonna say something?
yeah, I was gonna say probably about a half hour in, like after about a half hour of silence. I was gonna just say, "Hey, kid, what what you got going on?" And
Lydia doesn't turn to look at you, and you see her kind of looking down, the bangs of her hair kind of covering her face, and she says, through kind of a grimace and clenched teeth, "Nothing. And, I'm fine." There's a slight tremble in her voice and her hands.
We're gonna save your brother, okay?
She shakes her head and just says, "This isn't right, right?
No.
This isn't normal." But I barely even got to the station, so this isn't normal.
No, it's not. Things haven't been normal for a long time. It's not normal that humans, you and me, blew the hell out of our homeworld and make it hard to live there. Gotta purchase oxygen and a bunch of filters to keep your air quality up a decent amount. It's not normal that we live halfway across the solar system, find a bunch of weird rocks, junk, mining, weird metals. At some point, humans sort of outgrew ourselves. We're no longer doing normal stuff. And I feel like the more that we just tamper with this little world of ours, the more weird stuff we're doing, the more the world's kind of biting back.
Kind of dips her head down when you say that, and in kind of a solemn agreement, she mutters out, "I I hoped that this would be. I would just check up on him. I was just worried about him."
Yeah. So long as there's blood in my body and a brain that's not been zombied, well, I'll get to him.
After
I just
saying
hope,
that, oh, go ahead. No, you.
I just hope we get to him.
After saying that, you do notice that she's the tenseness in kind of her posture is kind of at least relaxed even just a little bit, though she still refuses to look up and make any eye contact or anything. Um, but you guys,
Actually,
what's up?
sorry, may I actually extend this scene?
Yes.
Um, ask
No.
us,
Yes.
ask her, say, hey kid, you got any family at home? You got a brother, but you got like a mom or a dad?
Lydia pauses for a second, and she slowly begins to nod her head. "Yeah, it's my folks. Give me 1 second. Give me the GM. Give me 1 second. I want to double check something. Want to double check something. Yeah, my folks. Couple of an engineer and a miner. They raised us on Mercury, actually. Well, not on Mercury. It's one of the solar stations.
Must have been hot as hell. I'm impressed with the climate control these days.
What can you say? We're not doing anything normal, right? But at least we're doing what we do best, I guess.
Talk about being sun kissed. Well, hey, kid, I got a deal for you. We're making it through this. You and me, we're both making it through this. But you know, the one in a billion chance we don't. If I got to, I'll I'll take your brother back to your parents. And if you got to, I'd love for you to take my parents back to my family on Earth. You meet my daughter, meet my wife. You didn't already have parents, so you're gonna damn near adopt you.
Sorry, I'm making a very quick note because this is important enough that I definitely do not want to forget this.
You meet my daughter, meet my wife. Have her make some sketty for you. It's one of her best meals, I remember.
Lydia just says, "I'd like that. What about your family?
What you mean?
Wouldn't
Like they're gonna be financially okay without me?
No, I just mean I don't know how feasible it is, but would hope that you'd want to see your family too."
I haven't been back in a long time. It's been weird. It's hard to describe. I messed up pretty bad a long time ago. And been sort of trying to find a way to set things right. Uh, Wife forgives me, daughter forgives me, but I guess I haven't really quite forgiven myself.
Lydia says, "Whatever happened, even if it was terrible, as long as that's the case, I mean, no, it's not my place. I apologize." Um,
I appreciate it. To that end, I'd actually really love for us to make it out, you and I. Uh,
and Joanna actually interjects from behind and just says, "Don't you worry. I'll make sure to do whatever I can to make sure that comes to pass too."
yeah, three of us are gonna make it.
Joanna takes another drink, um, and just says, "I hope you're right, Fred."
Either I'm right or I won't live to see being wrong. So
Well, I'll promise that whatever comes to pass, that I won't be there to see if you prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And whatever your situation is, Fred, don't worry. In the sense that don't worry in the sense that whatever has happened to you, I have got your back.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
And
I made a promise before we even knew how much of a shit show this was gonna be. Everything goes well, I'll hopefully have a job lined up for you. No. I I just gotta make it through this first.
yeah.
Whatever you're dealing with, you're you're not the only one dealing with something like that. Sounds of it. Maybe not the same, but she takes another swig and kind of trails off.
No, I appreciate that. I'm real scared to speak it aloud into the world, but because I was thinking during this talk we were having about just straight up asking you or Lydia to take my parents home for me, but I realized maybe I have been away long enough. Maybe I can go home for a little bit after this.
You feel Joanna kind of squeeze your right shoulder, and you, I don't know, you probably, you're still driving. You don't turn around. If you do, she'll tell you to keep your eyes on the road. No, she squeezes your shoulder, and she just says, "You still have family. Go see them." And when she says that, you see her through kind of a rearview mirror, and there's kind of like a pointedness in her expression when she makes that statement. She says, "You can tell them anything, good or bad. Tell them."
You're right, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right.
You actually see her take a deep breath when she says that. Um, and she just says, "We're almost to Rhea. That's good. That's actually very good. I have to, well, it says that we, but I have to take a stop by Starbus HQ. There's something that Starbus is wanting us to kind of meet up for, though I will take on direct responsibility for it. I wouldn't say that it would be much of your concern. Um, I know you have your own things to deal with."
I appreciate that. Whatever you need.
And yeah, the only other thing that Joanna says is just that um, yeah, she just says, "Always remember, whatever happens, whatever you do, um, for the sake of your family, just know that if you have a chance to talk to them still, don't forget how important that can be." And she kind of looks down where she says that.
I give her just a knuckle to the shoulder, just kind of
Okay. I think that would be a good place stop for switch to the scene if you are feeling ready, Kolya.
Yeah.
Um, we actually switch now back to the encampment in this in deck 2 of Titan Residential as you're holding one of these artifacts that you had that Lena, a soul power scientist, a geologist, had been kind of an archaeologist, had been kind of studying to try to figure out exactly what it is. And as you're examining it, it does bring up almost like feelings of deja vu. You feel an uncertain familiarity with it, not because you recognize this specific thing, but you recognize what kind of thing it is. Um, we're kind of working through that. Um, as mentioned before, uh, you kind of were curious, and we kind of want to pick up from there. Do you want to lead with the last thing you said or the response?
Uh, I still don't know the last thing I said. I tried to look back at it and I was like, I don't think we left off in a conversation. We left off in like meta discussion about what was going on.
Okay. Uh, Here, give me 1 second. I wasn't sure if you were gonna say more. I was switching something around, and then you didn't say more, and I was like, oh shoot, he wasn't gonna say more.
yeah,
um,
well, it's
Go ahead.
the place we left off, unless I totally misjudged when I was looking through it, was literally just like a conversation about the like artifact itself, like a meta conversation about the artifact itself. We switched scenes before actually getting back into dialogue.
Okay. Then okay. So I'm thinking. I'm processing. I'm processing. Um, where here? Where would you? Where is the point of interest that you would like to pick up on as far as conversation? What is? Does Kolya have a question, or are they wanting to say something? Does he have
Um,
something on his mind?
I mean, I guess from my perspective, like I the biggest thing is that I just don't want to like miss this opportunity, like because I feel like if I walk away without this artifact, I'm never gonna see it again.
Okay.
Um, so
As you kind of like scan around, you notice, though in not as good condition, other kind of fragmentary artifacts of kind of similar composition and shape are kind of scattered around an examination table. So this isn't the only sample that she has, though it does seem to be one of the few that is in particularly good condition comparatively.
gotcha. Um, uh, I guess. Sorry, I'm coming up with nothing.
You're good. Um, as you're kind of examining it, Lena kind of perks up next to you and she says, "We haven't been able to do much transcribing. Um, it seems that whatever it is, it's covered in some kind of either script or writing or rune documentation, something. We have found them in varying qualities. All of these actually came from Titan, from an archaeological site.
Uh, when did you bring these back from Titan?
These were on one of the most recent shipments, um, from an archaeological dig not more than a month or two ago. Why do you ask? Was before when any of, and she gestures into the air, this was starting to happen.
What I don't know. What is the current month?
Well, good news! I have been doing a better job of keeping track of that because I need to know this information too. At the very top of the Miros board, I have it all illustrated out, and I've been keeping up to it and keeping it up to date.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh no, you're good. That's why I was like, I needed to add this because I'm sure it'd be helpful to you guys, and it sure as hell is helpful to me.
I was just looking over the documents that we had, trying to like figure out sort of timeline wise where that lines up. But knowing, what a month ago translates to is important.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Okay. This is comparatively very recently. Okay. I'll just say, well, we have reason to believe that some of what's going on here is related to some of the things that have been brought back from Titan.
Hmm.
It sounds like not necessarily these specifically, but just
She does say these were located not far from another dig site that unfortunately had some wild event happen. Um, I don't know what happened at the time, and knowing the condition of things now, I can only estimate that it might have had something to do with what's happening here. Though much more isolated, at least. I hope, anyway. I'll look something up real fast.
look. I have reason to believe that it may be possible to still read this artifact. However, it may require resources that I do not have access to here.
She
Could
looks at
I?
you puzzled and says, "What? I want to ask how, but what do you need?" She doesn't
Kalia
say
just
this
said,
accusatorily. She says it more like in
"Oh,
shocked,
for sure."
stunned.
Kalia still doesn't necessarily want to admit what he means. Kalia just says, "I have seen one or two things like this. Have Do you see these rages? The way these shape like this?"
She nods slowly and says, yeah, we can't really parse out anything about its organization, but we do understand that it seems to be some kind of text.
Well, I have reason to believe that part of the difficulty is that it is a biological limitation. These are not compatible with human anatomy.
She takes a moment and kind of nods slowly and says that, I mean, that feels sound. At least we're not super familiar on what the exact anatomy of Xenorthensis looked like. We have plenty of evidences of trace fossils and maybe imprints, oftentimes even footprints, but we haven't been able to really find much of any hard tissue preservation. And when she says that, you actually are kind of given a pang of remembrance to the kind of like physiology you felt. And there's the thing that comes to mind is, and she pauses for a second and she says, well, that's not 100% true. I think the closest to physical anatomy we've gotten seem to be some kind of like hard um edged um structure. We're hypothesizing that it was either maybe like a mouth part or a beak, but that's the only physical evidence we've been able to find of any of them, and we've only been able to find one or two partially preserved. And when she says that, you do get a mind that something about a lot of the structure of the body that you felt did not feel like there was like that much like hard tissue inside of it. You felt incredibly flexible for how large and how sturdy you still felt.
It's not a big bug.
Uh-huh. You're a big bug. um and she says, the only other kind of traces that we have are that or any depictions that they have, which typically are heavily worn down. So what did you have in mind?
I have leads that I'm following that may be able to shed some light on the physiology of these creatures. But I cannot do the research here.
As you say that, a hologram pops up and says, "Did I hear you like bones? I bet you haven't had the best damn ribeye this side of the fucking galaxy in Joe's Ribs Shack."
Jones Bones.
Jones Bones and Ribs. Made with 105% real cow.
Real bone.
Real bone for real boys.
Uh-huh. Send me real bone for real boys. You know what? I'm having a lot of fun with those. If anybody ever wants to just interject that ads are about to start with an ad bit, feel free. I like that as a really awful diegetic thing that just happens in my setting now.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Given the state that I'm going for, it definitely is something that would happen. Well, how's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? How was your weekend?
You know, well, you know how my weekend was bad.
Glad that your wife's okay.
Thank you. But otherwise, we're
She
doing
lived,
good.
bitch.
She lived. Honestly, that was really good yesterday. Enjoyed you living.
Oh God! Wait, no, did you nearly die, Sean? Is there news?
No. That was
That was,
that was a video game.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I was on the side of the video game.
Oh, okay. You had me worried there for a second. Listen, I know if you were in a situation in which if you died in the video game, you'd die for real, that you'd be fine, Sean. Good, you're good at video games.
Good at video games.
I did watch a movie technically this morning.
Oh, what'd you watch?
I finally got around to watching Dead Poets Society. I'd actually never seen it before. It's pretty good. I liked it. I think that so for anybody who's not familiar, it is a Robin Williams joint that is about a teacher at a private school that's like a very super strict discipline oriented private school, and he's like trying to teach the kids about being independent free thinkers.
Huh.
If you've ever seen any of the clips of Robin Williams grabbing kids by the face or jumping on desks, that's what that's from.
Ah, gotcha. Where he he teaches children how to be free thinkers by traumatizing them. But no, nah. But no, really, I huge respect to Mr. Williams, because like it feels like people, he transitioned into a like very like prolific serious actor in a way that I mean, like he always was like really good at his performances, but I feel like his direction into like more serious roles is something I always have respected. He's a fantastic dramatic actor, because in reality, even though he started off as funny guy, it turns out he likes being dramatic, not funny necessarily. Funny can be dramatic, but he likes being dramatic is really what he likes.
He's just got a lot of range. He's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. I don't have strong feelings about it one way or another. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It it did blindside me with an unexpected, really specific hook into my real life that
Oh yeah.
was surprising to me.
Uh,
Um,
I'm now wary. What was the hook? If you wished.
so the third act of this film revolves largely around this kid whose like central conflict is with his dad, and his dad barring him from participating in theater, and that's like the central conflict in the third act of that film. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weirdly specific.
Uh-huh. Huh,
That's
that's
a
odd.
weirdly specific real thing I lived through.
If
Yeah.
only I would have had Robin Williams being my teacher to encourage me to encourage and support me to continue the arts.
Well, I don't know about that. It doesn't end up great for anyone involved.
Oh
Does not end
no!
up great. Oh yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's an interesting film because I think thematically it's like it's a film that wants to it's a it's a film that wants to be positive without being optimistic. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah, I think that
it's
I think that
trying
makes-
to say something positive about like a positive thing that it wants to like instill in its audience, while also saying like you will be punished for being this and for like doing what you should do to be a better person and like living a more
Uh-huh.
fulfilled life. The world
Huh.
will punish you for wanting to live a more fulfilled life, but do it anyway.
I
Yeah.
mean, uh, weirdly, hell yeah, fucking eat, eat shit, screw everyone and everything, do what makes you happy. No, find the people you like. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I'm
It's
always down for
pretty good
themes
fun. I
like
liked
that.
it.
Yeah. Well, on that note, welcome back from ads, everyone. Uh, Lena, Lena, kind of taken aback, just says, "I mean, if you have any information, I don't know who were you studying under or studying with? Like, I have to know."
Uh, I more of an independent researcher. I'm currently contracted under Starbus to investigate some things going on with particular incidents here on the station that Starbus was involved with, but more of an independent researcher overall.
She kind of slowly nods and says, I see. Well, I mean, what then what do you have in mind? What do you need? I'll see
I
what
know
I
it's a
can
lot.
find, and she kind of like walks off and is like buried her head inside of a box.
I know it's a lot to ask, but if not this one, and I point to the artifact that we've been talking about, whatever the most intact piece that you are willing to part with, uh, I I believe I may be able to get some more information. I just cannot do it here.
when you say that, well, actually, when you say that, you no, when you say that, you do feel a bit of particular attachment to the one that you're holding. But she says, I mean, I have plenty of samples, and if you were needing one, I'm certain as long as you like brought it back, especially any information that you had. But I guess, and she closes the box and has like a notebook in her hands with a pen, um, and just says,
I see her pulling out the notebook and pen, and I just like cock my head and I pull out my like data pad, and I'm like, uh, if you have, if I could just get you, I can send you information directly. We don't have.
"Oh,
I don't
oh,
think there's post functioning on the station.
oh, yes. I mean, I can also, yeah. I can. You can add me. I still have. Yes. I don't. I have a data pad. I just maybe to at least like get an idea or start getting some ideas. Is there anything that you do you have any ideas on what can be on it right now or any kind of um any information you could give me
I just
as a lead?
say, here's what I can do. And I just take the notes that I had made from the uh from the studying the xenomorph, not xenoplasmi.
Uh-huh.
They're kind of xenomorphs,
A
a little
little
bit.
bit. Listen, I
Uh,
their original designs use plural, the
they are.
plural royal use.
I mean, they're kind of xenomorphs in the sense of like they're much like xenomorphs. They're like, you know, distorted human bodies.
Mhm.
Anyway, uh, the I send her over the like observations I had made, and I don't directly state that it's related to what we've been talking about, but I just say, here is some of the most recent data I've collected. It's just some of the investigations I've been doing here on the station that may prove useful to you.
Interesting. She pauses. She says, "We knew that they had some kind of organization. We assumed that it was maybe kind of like a sort of colonial or pack or some kind of group communication. But I mean, the the entities we some people have called them different things. They've called them bodies. Some people see them as zombies. A couple people have taken to calling them mutilates. But either way, the whatever they're doing, I am surprised that they're that organized. You're for sure? You're certain?
Are you for
you
real?
are you for yo?
Uh,
Like the kids are saying these days.
I just say there's very little mistaking it. And frankly, I think it is mostly a matter of uh, human bias that we assumed otherwise.
Hmm. That does make me worried then. If they have some kind of collected direction, the next question I can only have is what why? What are they what are they working towards?
On this, I could barely begin to speculate. Uh, I have not really seen anything that could inform me one way or another on this.
At least it's
But
more go ahead.
the more we investigate, the more avenues we pursue, the more opportunities we will have to begin to answer such questions.
And it certainly is a start. Like I said, we haven't focused most of our study on what any of the mutilates are doing. We have at least frank ideas of their vulnerabilities, the things they like, the things they dislike. We haven't been able to watch or investigate behavior much. Again, we just know that whatever they are, they've been exceedingly hostile and are looking to expand. What end, we just don't know. So that knowing that it is more directed than just maybe just pure animal survival instinct, that is both helpful and concerning. I'll make sure to at least report this to uh, Amara and the others. They'll want to know this. They've been trying to work on a way to rehabilitate and outlast the current degree of the situation. Honestly, the encampments have at least been a good start, but it certainly hasn't been easy.
Yes, there are many obstacles. Effective research in this situation.
She nods and just says, "Well, whatever you find out regarding that artifact, please let me know. If I don't hear from you, I will try to reach out again and probably a few hours, both to check in or just see if you've made any headway. So if you want to do any work here, you're more than welcome.
I appreciate that. And I sort of tentatively pick up the artifact just to like make sure that I'm like good to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Both
And
in the sense that she's not that she is actually giving it to me, and also in the sense that like, you know, just my brain
yeah,
working okay.
you hold it, and if you start like kind of looking at it and staring at it, you do feel like a weird bit of it's very mild dizziness, and you do get this like kind of discrete sensation that you can start transcribing this even from at least a little bit from the top. Um, but it definitely, if you focus on it, you start feeling sensations of familiarity as you're kind of like focusing on this object.
Okay. I'm gonna pocket it for now and not do this in a public space.
Okay. Let me check something. Let me check your pockets. What's in your pockets? I will say it is. I'll be kind. I'll say it's small because it's not minuscule. It's definitely. I would say it. It firmly. It's a little bit larger than your hand, but it's not like bulky. And is surprisingly light. Whatever the material is, it seems to have a very low density.
So I could smash it on the ground if I really want to.
If you really wanted to, I have at least some inclination, some of your familiarity with this object would go, doing that would break it, and there's nothing inside. I'm just going to tell you, your brain knows that.
But my brain
much
could be
like
lying to me.
much like throwing a book into a wood chipper, it will have the effect of the book going through the wood chipper. um, as you kind of conclude that, and you kind of like start to walk away, um, what what is of immediate concern to Kolya at this moment? What is he wanting to? What would he want to do right now in this moment?
uh, so a few sort of things that are rolling around in my brain. Uh, One, I want to go to sleep. I don't know what time it is or when we last slept. I think we slept recently.
I was
We
gonna
just
say
got out.
bad news. Kolya can't just go back to sleep whenever he wants. He slept like 2 hours ago. He just woke
But
up.
but my thinking is I'm not planning on going to sleep right now, but my thinking is like if I go to sleep holding this, like I might I'm sort of surfing the psychic waves at the moment, and I don't know. Kolya doesn't really know how to engage that,
Mm-hmm.
so I think Kolya's
Fair.
like sort of reaching a little bit like I seem to enter a dreamlike state sometimes. Maybe dreaming like something subconscious will happen. Um, Other than that, I'm really tempted to go to make us go all the way back to the diner, to Daimon Sushi, and talk to what was his name? What was his name? What was the name of the proprietor of that place?
Cujo.
Cujo. Talk to Cujo and make sure see what the status is of Cujo's wife. And I really want to see if and how one of these things would interact with one of these artifacts.
Okay.
Because I don't think we've seen that yet. I don't know if I necessarily want to give them this one, though, because I'm like concerned if it gets destroyed. And also, I don't know. I think I don't know if necessarily Cujo's wife is going to be still in a state that we can even interface with anymore. So that's sort of the things that I'm thinking about right now. Neither of them
Okay.
necessarily immediately actionable, but I think that that's sort of where Kolya's at, is like fully not on immediately actionable stuff and more just like trying to piece out bigger picture goals.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And right now, actually, at the moment, you find yourself uh actually kind of by yourself at the moment. Quincy and Maison are actually not present. Maison you did not see actually when you woke up, but Quincy, shortly after you woke up, actually kind of wandered off, letting you know that they were going to see if they could be of any use, as well as find any information on Io for you. As for the kind of things that you mentioned, you do also know that, at least if you were wanting to try those things, to like kind of formulate the plan around that, uh, um, you'll just have to let Maison and Quincy know to get an idea
Yeah, well, that's the thing is
of how
like
that would work.
exactly, like I'm gonna have to convince Maison, which like some of the other thing that's sort of rattling around there as to why I might want to do that. I just don't know how I'll convince Maison because I feel like
Uh-huh.
Maison is not going to agree to that. And I'm
Good
not sure how to convince Maison to do that right now. Um,
good smell test on that.
so I'm sort of noodling on that.
Right. Um, gotcha. Okay. Okay. I guess just to poke and prod one last time, do you try to interface with the artifact immediately in any way?
Um, Not immediately. I
Okay.
think I will go off to like my quarters or whatever. We were sleeping in like sort of just like a big uh yeah, okay.
You had just found kind of an open to public section of an apartment. It was just like in a living room. You were not the only one in there. There were just other passerbys who were resting there as they were taking shelter in the encampment. So
Yeah.
that's There's the only real like place that you guys have of like any sort of semi-permanence is the Milsec vehicle has been kind of maneuvered and parked into a section for like designated vehicles. There are well, actually, if you go over there, there are things like a handful of other carts, maybe some industrial equipment, as well as like there's actually somebody moving like a box in a large powered uh, walking power loader, um, as well as surprisingly, you do see at least one other Milsect vehicle. But of note, in comparison to yours, the it appears to at least be superficially vandalized somehow. Um, the and the branding has been either scratched off or painted over. And looking around, even occasionally, to your surprise, you will see a Milsect officer wandering around. Though usually with that, it's not. It, you at least get the impression that they are officers with pieces of their armor in varying states of disrepair, but also occasionally with the branding marked off of it. It's not consistent with all of them, but some of them show kind of the same marking, but they don't seem they seem to be still trying to like moving things around and helping people where they can.
I have a suspicion as to what's going on there, but that's not something Kolya would care to investigate.
I was gonna say, I was like, that's
Kolya
just
doesn't give
me.
a fuck.
I'm just painting a tapestry. You
Yeah,
decide
for sure, for sure.
it's just there to
I
be
as a
like,
player appreciate it. Kolya as a
yes.
character could not care less.
Colia does in fact want to say fuck the police, so
Not
fair.
even that. Like Kolya as a character just doesn't have. The police are just not even a consideration for Kolya.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I'll just go back to the apartment because the car is, despite being a contained thing, it's still like in a more public space even than the apartment, I feel.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I will just go back to the apartment. I'm not like necessarily doing anything with the artifact, um, but I'm probably just like have it out, and I'm like probably absent-mindedly sort of running my fingers over it from time to time as I'm like trying to noodle on what the next thing I should do is.
As you do, and as you kind of like ascertained, you'd if you found a way to kind of be able to more thoroughly examine this artifact, um you do pick up the across the top of it a sentence, like just like a couple of phrases, um and it mentions it says almost like a title concerning Sotuth and concerning Sototh's survival, Sosustoth.
I didn't catch any of what happened after the word survival.
It just the word Sosustoth.
Okay.
Now I need to make a note.
Interesting. Um I do try to say such stuff out loud.
When you do, you your there's a pang in your head, and you one second. You there's a pang in your head for a second, and you understand. There is a familiarity that what you said is related to Xenox Ridley.
Okay. I'm just chilling in the apartment for now until probably until Quincy or Maison comes back for me.
Okay. Hey, good news. Hey, John. Hey, Colia. Guess what?
What?
You're hungry.
Oh, good.
um, Fred
Does it mean
is you. Um, you are, after having a little bit of discussion and conversation on your way to Rhea, as well as moments of quiet contemplation, um, you look ahead and up as, again, there's always this kind of slight curving up into the horizon ahead of you, since you are very effectively driving up around the ring of Tennyson Station. And in the distance, you see something that is faintly becoming illuminated by the dim lighting of the station's overhead lights onto this thoroughfare. Uh, and you see a door, a massive, massive door. Give me 1 second. You see a massive door in front of you. A closed bulkhead with the full shuttered doors closed. Normally, it would be around an opening around maybe 12 feet tall and opening wide enough to at least allow 2 lanes of traffic. And ahead of you, it appears to be shut. And as you look around, it's relatively dead quiet. There's not any sound but maybe the creaking of the station as it spins on its axis, orbiting Saturn. What is your first impression of being met with the entrance to Rhea?
say? Holy moly! I yeah, for kind of forget the scope of things now and then.
Say what you will about the situation here. Humans did find a way to make this. Kind of impressive.
That's true, yeah. I guess my whole spiel about us messing stuff up. I don't know if I take it back, but you're right. We're making some pretty crazy things. Hopefully, it was humans that made this, not some weird alien.
As you say that, you remember that actually your dad was participant and was one of the chief engineers working on the station when he was much, much younger, before he even met your mom.
I'll speak up and say, yeah, I actually forgot what brought Pops out here in the first place. That was before I was a twinkle in his eye, but I think Pops worked on this kind of stuff, you know?
Don't talk
It
about the
was,
twinkle of your pops.
I don't know, how else do you want to talk about me being conceived?
Lydia is just like, no, 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 and Joanna just says, well, either way,
When a mother and a father.
if you've got any ideas, who wants to go up and knock? I don't know. What do you got? Any ideas, Fred?
I was gonna search for. I was thinking about searching for the doorbell or probably some lever or some sort of activation. Speaker box if they got it, so we can check on somebody.
Yeah. Um, Joanna says that would be probably a good start, and she actually dismounts really fast as the uh, cart kind of hums idly in its place. Your your headlamps actually on, kind of lighting up only about like a third of the bottom of the entirety of the bulkhead in front of you. Um, where how is Fred going about doing this? Where are you looking first?
I'll inspect around the door because see if there's any sort of like switch or something like that, or any sort of device to communicate with somebody. I'll start look, and then after that, I'll start looking around for some sort of like thing to just see if I can operate the door.
Okay. Yeah. You step out and kind of start milling around this door, looking around for any kind of power sources, any kind of consoles, anything that you can kind of use to manipulate the door. From your initial inspection, as well as your knowledge of being an engineer, this definitely is meant to be kind of like a closed access. Normally, this is supposed to be open, but some kind of some kind of access restriction has been put on Rhea that has closed this bulkhead. So at least from this side, it seems that there isn't any easy access. It was kind of meant to be able to be closed from either a remote or to be a way to like block things out from being able to come in.
Yeah.
However, it's not makeshift. It does seem like this is intended to be actually a part of the space station. This is a bulkhead that the space station was designed to facilitate.
Okay. Okay.
As you're looking around, I will say though, you are able to find access paneling to the door. It's not door access, it's just something that would give you access to uh elect uh the I'm gonna say the electrical um kind of systems of like the door and the surrounding area, as well as maybe some access to diagnostics of the door and the surrounding area. But
Yeah.
it
Okay.
is just closed. It's just a panel that's been secured with like nuts and bolts.
Okay. All right. So there's no way to communicate with anybody as far as we can see.
as you take one more kind of stock and look around, and you didn't you don't know how you didn't notice it before. Maybe you were more focused on trying to deal with the bulkhead itself, but there is at least one other sign of something or someone, and that there does seem to be affixed not far from uh, the outside of this bulkhead along one of the walls does seem to be some kind of security feed and a camera.
All right. Yeah, well, I think I'll try that first. I'll walk up to, because like I'm like trying to size up. You know, I see the bolts and everything in this door, and I'm like, I could try to take this door apart or something, or I don't know. But that seems like a lot. So let me wave my hands in front of the camera and try to see if I can open up the security feed and speak into it, just like that. Anyone there?
You look at the camera, and the first thing you notice about it is that the camera is branded Milsect. However, it seems to have been planted there. It doesn't seem to be something. It seems to be something that was attached to that wall recently, because it doesn't quite fit up flush against the wall. It kind of like sticks out, and it shows wiring that is being channeled into a panel that has been opened up on the side. Clearly, that would have been closed had the camera not been there. Uh, in inspecting the camera itself, you can ascertain that it is collecting some kind of audio. There's clearly a microphone attached to it somehow, kind of flush against the side of it. It's not like sticking out like a boom thing. It's just like built into it. But there doesn't seem to be like anything like a speaker or anything. There doesn't seem to be any way for it to project audio of its own. It just seems to be able to see and listen.
Gotcha. Okay. How big is this thing? How big is this listening device? Is it like at a table or is it like portable?
It's built into the camera, and the camera is like 10 feet off the ground. But you
Okay,
you
cool.
ascertain that it's listening.
Cool. So I'll just wave at it, and they said that it's listening. It might be listening.
Yes.
Okay. So I just say, hey, we're stuck on this, and would anyone let us in? We got
Yeah.
a car. We got people just trying to.
Hey. The Lydia and Joanna notice you making a commotion and see the camera and also join in behind you, kind of trying to make some noise and getting some attention. Um, uh, and as you're doing that, the sound of your voices kind of echo up and down the otherwise kind of still quiet of the thoroughfare, which, again, as far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be anyone or anything here.
Yeah.
Until you hear the sound of footsteps. I'm going to say this is like you have the bulkhead in front of you. This camera was kind of off on the right side. You hear footsteps coming from behind you and to the right, from a nearby building. And they're heavy. They're the heavy footsteps of boots. Not just one pair, but at least two.
Oh, or maybe in business here. Turn the face towards some boots.
You hear these boots rapidly kind of like walk up, not like clearly like in a rush, but not like what would sound like, somebody running from something. It sounds like these boots are kind of just running up towards you. And a moment later, you see two Milsec officers completely garbed in Milsec outfits with their helmets on, um, a rifle and a handgun unholstered in each of their hands. And as you stop to look in each other's direction, they stop abruptly a few feet away from you, raising their weapons.
We're human. We're just people.
Give me 1 second. Let me process the tone. What? And they raise their weapons in your direction, and through a kind of modulated tone, just say, "Hands up! Drop your weapons."
Which one first? It's hard to do both.
Drop your place. Place any firearms that you have on the ground and put your hands up above your head.
All right, placing firearms on the ground.
Joanna
Nice,
also does the same.
We came as I'm like I'm moving at like a snail's pace, because it just my assumption is sudden movements make them scared. Um, so as I'm laying everything safely on the ground, I say, we came from Milsect 45 minutes from the. Actually, pause to think like east, west. We came from the station.
1 second. I should have an answer for you. Give me 1 second. Did I not write that there? It is written someplace else. I can give you, actually, because I want to geek out for a second, I can give you an answer for what directionals would be on a station like this. Give me one moment. Ooh. You came from downspin and we're heading upspin.
Honestly, that's how it works. Because So if I can, I mean, it's a high pressure situation, but if I can um reform a couple words, I'll basically say something like that. It's like, we came 45 minutes from we're coming from downspin and we're moving upspin. Sorry, had to think, and I start to raise my hand slowly.
One of the officers, the officer holding up his rifle, just commandingly says, "Go move."
Not
And
moving.
the other officer moves up towards you three. Do you respond? Do you have any response, or what is Fred? Do I want to be mean? Is the real question.
We got
Hey Fred, what's your
really
stress looking like right now?
not that bad actually. Shockingly. Stress is 3.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, you
I
actually
cleared a
have
lot.
been you've been saving a lot actually. So
Yeah, I think there was that roll 1d4 for amount of stress relief or something like that, and I rolled like a 4.
okay. Um, Fuck it then, just for fun. Roll me a panic check.
I figured that. That's a d20.
Yep. And you have to roll. You want to roll over.
Over. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
rolled over 3, thankfully.
Oh,
Rolled a
good,
7.
good. Yeah, you're able to kind of like stay calm in this situation, though you do feel unnerved. You definitely do not feel like you you do not feel safe. You definitely do not feel safe around these officers. Whatever they're doing, it still does not seem in your interest in the sense of like they are not inspecting you to make sure that you're safe and that you're okay. They're inspecting you to make sure that you're not a threat.
Yeah. As they're inspecting me, I just say slowly, got relatives on the other side. Harold and Sheila Jones, my parents.
As you say that, the officer who had his handgun out, which he hasn't necessarily put away, and is uncomfortably close to you. He is like kind of patting you down along your sides and your legs. What? Just to be a stickler, but you can say however many. How many guns did you put on the ground?
I basically put my whole backpack and everything on the floor.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I pretty much got it all down there. Honestly, it's weirdly sort of liberating. Like it's not fun because I'm not armed anymore, but like I feel pretty light because I was carrying a full kit with me.
As you this is happening, you hear at least another pair of footsteps coming up. As it sounds like another group of mill sector coming up towards your location intently. They aren't like walking by; they're coming in your direction um, to meet up with the rest of these officers. Uh, Double check something. As he's checking you, he you see him collect the firearms off the ground. He's also checking and patting you down. You see him get really close up to around your neck area. Uh, Intensely, you do hear this individual patting you down say, "Any injuries? Any
Oh,
heavy injuries?"
nope, we're all. I slow down and say we're all unharmed.
Um,
Though not every single person that was with us. There were 4 of us, and there's now 3.
okay. Uh, as this as yeah as this group walks up, um you you do feel the officer grab one of your wrists, um and he just says, "You are not you just hear him say, "You're not under arrest, but you are being apprehended at this moment."
What does that mean?
He just says, he pulls out a pair of he pulls out a pair of um kind of restraining ties, and he just says, he just says, for this, uh, in the interest of the security of Rhea, we are apprehending you for this moment. We will take you inside safely.
Well, that's our goal, so I appreciate it. We can walk and talk, but I got a big question for you. Have you heard
We
about?
will take you into Rhea.
I appreciate that. Have you heard about what happened 45 minutes down the road?
He doesn't say anything. And he restrains your arms. Do you do anything?
I just look down at all my stuff and I say, "I get that back at the end."
Um, he just says, "You." You will be informed on how to proceed when we get. You'll be informed on how to proceed inside of Ray when we get back to the police station.
All right. Well,
And
I look at the other two.
he grabs you from behind. There's at least another pair of officers who are working on restraining them. Which Joanna, however, is noticeably less cordial, and she says, What are you doing? What are you doing?"
I think she was trying to speak to Joanna. What? I assume they're like pushing us and shuffling us, but
Yes, it is.
as they're doing that-
It isn't gentle.
yeah, as they're like pushing, shoving, and corralling us, I say, who were you trying to speak to, Joanna? Oh, what were you? Because I know you had some business here.
I I what Joanna is just shoved ahead by one of the officers as you guys are walked towards the bulkhead, which at this point has been it is starting to eke open a few feet to be about a shoulder across, and
Good thing I didn't try to take that apart. I'd feel real silly right now.
And as you say that, you feel a shove from behind as a milsect officer commands you to move.
I got feet. I'm using them.
Okay. You guys are placed inside of a milsect. You guys are placed inside of a milsect vehicle and are taken into Rhea.
As we're being placed in, I say, y'all need the keys for my car so we can get inside. They're in this pocket over here.
We yeah, one of the officers, one of the two officers that you saw first, they kind of look at each other, and one of them gestures towards you and towards him, and with your hands kind of restrained, he reaches in and is able to fish out the kind of like the keys for the cart. They do say when you say that though, contraband. They say contraband items and destructive devices are currently not permitted on Rhea. Your vehicle will not be restrained. You will have it supplied back to you after we get back. After we get back to the police station, or after we get to the Milsec station in Rhea.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
As this is all happening, it certainly isn't the breath of safety you certainly were hoping to be met with. What is Fred's initial response to this treatment?
It's always frustrating. Like, it's never fun. It's always genuinely frustrated when you hope to like run into the good guys and the good guys treat you like the bad guys. Uh, it's one of those that I understand that it's because of how this virus works. It's hopefully just business as usual, where they got to get a fingerprint, a blood sample, and realize, hey, we're clean. Um, just it's one of those that, yeah, I think frustrating really is the true like feeling that he feels, because it's like lives are at stake, people are dying, and I'm stuck in police bureaucracy right now.
I actually have two curious questions. One, I don't remember if I've asked this before, and if I have, I would want a refresher. Is this how familiar is Fred with like interactions with Milsec before this? Had you like interacted with Milsec before? Had it been for something security related, or had it been general?
Yeah, we talked about this. Fred took a not a long term contract, but like did a stint with Milsect. So
Okay,
he probably has like he's inactive or deactivated, but he probably still has some sort of like rank or something like that. Like, I mean, we're talking like if we put it in army terms, he'd probably be like the equivalent of a private first class or corporal, kind of like at best, like at best a corporal. Um,
so the thing
because
that
I
you
think
pick
he,
up on most apparently, with at least the like the general experience you've had with Milsect in the past, as somebody who's actually worked with them directly, this is actually a little strange in the pure excessiveness of it. You would say
Mhm.
Milsect has never had a great reputation, but at least most of that reputation came from its general relationship with the public, with the government, and with its sort of independent nature as a military or as a security service, as kind of like a bureaucratic office ship. This, however, seems unusual because this feels much more aggressive. Milsect oftentimes has been known to be employed into service in either combating things like
Are they
ads,
combating
combating
ads?
ads. You get it. Who wants to give me a Milsect ad? What's a Milsect ad sound like?
You ever have trouble with unsavory folk? You ever needed to be saved by a lot of guns? The military is cool as shit, am I right?
This is just playing. It's
You ever
it's,
feel
it's
aimless? You ever feel aimless in life, like you're stuck in a town and you only got one thing to do? Join the mill sect.
You want to know what's worse, Jackson? This isn't advertising. This just plays in their car when there isn't like comms going on. This is just playing in the car while you're there.
You ever wanted to be more? Why don't you settle for less? Join mill sect.
Wonderful. I hate it. God damn. We're about to. I think we're about to get into some juicy stuff here, cause I don't know. I suddenly have some ideas that are perking up, knowing that
Oh, don't
now
perk
that
up on
I'm
the camera.
informed of what your disposition would actually be in this situation.
It's fairly accurate to real life, like in how I interact with law people. Like I'm a white dude, so they're usually not too bad to me, but it's never pleasant. Like it's never. And maybe someone out there in chat or someone who watches the stream is just like, oh, I've had positive experiences, and it's like, well, that's good. Like
I mean,
that's all I can say is like that's good.
that's good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally have not had like any exceedingly negative experiences with law enforcement. However, recently I'm not feeling too enthused about them, unfortunately.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you specifically. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. So that's fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not fine. I'm not even gonna say it's fine in a sarcastic way. It's not fine.
If they weren't so violent, I feel like you would be the perfect foil to them because they would just run themselves around in confusion. Talking about ICE specifically, like they would just run themselves around in confusion of like, well, where do we send you? It's like, what, American citizen, what is this? But they're unfortunately a bit too zealous.
Uh-huh. I mean, we don't got to get too much into it, but don't worry, Jackson. They're not that's not their concern. So, but that's why I'm trying my best to handle this topic well. So, don't worry. This is going somewhere.
Sorry, I know no bummers is kind of the name of the stream, so my bad for continuing into Bummerland.
You're already playing my horror game. The bummers need to at least be thematic, damn it.
Thematic bummers. I like that.
I need you to cry about your daughter more. Damn it. Both of you.
That's true. We do both have a daughter.
You both need to cry more about them.
I don't know why that fact didn't occur to my brain, even though we've talked about Kolya's daughter frequently.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I'm still got a slight southern accent when I'm talking out of character.
It's because you live in Texas now. You gotta get out of Tejas.
It's because it's like just subtle enough that like when I finally get in that rhythm, it's really kind of hard to get out of it. Like because it's not a thick one usually. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, you just gotta fight it. You gotta remember. You gotta talk to us to remember your Kansan sensibility. You have to remember to talk like this in order to remember that you are a Midwestern American.
Accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say when anyone thinks of Kansas, they think of how I'm talking right now. Like they think we're about as country as Texas is.
Well, that's what they think, but then it's always funny when people actually
I feel
meet
like people understand that the Midwest and the South are two different places.
Yeah. I always feel like the joke has been that like the Midwest is the accent is we don't have an accent. The accent is
that's the joke that people in the Midwest make because people are fucking stupid. Of course we have an accent.
I don't know what it sounds like. I might have to. I might have to ask somebody and be like, "Well, I feel like we have a lot of vocal tics. I do say ope."
Well, it's more so that like
we got a bit of a draw.
Yeah, we have a touch of a draw, and we don't sound like any of the other accents in the United States, which there are a good number of them.
Uh-huh.
So we don't really have like a strong.
I mean, we don't have as strong an accent as like fucking
like Minnesota or Boston, yeah.
Uh-huh. Or Boston.
Reminds me of the South Dakota bit or something like that for Game Changer, where it's like a South Dakota. It's like, yeah, we've been really enjoying it here in South Dakota. We moved here about 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you wanted me to play the stereotypes?
Uh-huh.
That was a good one. That was a quite a good one.
Anyways, welcome back from ads, everyone. Fred's in a cop car. uh,
I am. Are we? Do we switch or are we just driving with me?
driving with you for a second more.
Okay.
You are the biggest thing that you notice with this kind of like activity is that um Milsect aren't necessarily known for their cuddliness, but they're usually not this upfront about it. They're not this upfront about being this aggressive. There's a tinge that there is systematically an enforcement happening here that seems extraordinary, even for the circumstances. It's
Okay.
less.
Yeah.
It is the feeling of like this seems to be in line with what's happening on the station. However, it still feels excessive, directly
Yeah.
excessive.
Yeah. No, I'm tracking him with this. Yeah. I don't know what to say right now. I'm trying to think of like. Uh. I'm just trying to think of like brain help. I could just go for the ride for a while. Like, because I guess I am seated next to someone.
Uh,
Because I feel like, or
I'll
I'm seated maybe
say
like behind somebody or something like that.
I'll say you, Lydia, and Joanna are kind of like packed into the back of this vehicle. Um, Lydia's in the middle. You want to be in the middle for some reason.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. She's the middle. She's the littlest one.
Yeah. But
You know, it was
you all are currently restrained. Um,
okay.
and if you do you say anything?
Yeah, I go back over to Joanna. Say this wasn't how it was supposed to happen. What? Who were you trying to talk to? Were you gonna go to Millsect, or who were you looking to talk to?
No, no, no. We just need to go to one of we just need to go to Starbus's headquarters here on Tennyson.
Well, and Starbus was gonna handle the bureaucracy between us and Millsect.
Yes, but I feel like if this had anything to do with that, they would have brought that up.
What do you mean?
Uh,
Like they would have? What's up?
as she says that, one of the officers in the front, you hear him through like kind of a modulated speaker, as it's like one of those like kind of sectioned, kind of like plexiglass windows, keeping the front separated from the back. Um, you just hear him say, you just hear him say, um, security on the station has tripled. We can't take any risks at the moment. We are simply doing um, a we were simply doing we were simply enacting a procedure to make sure that there are no dangers imparted in taking anyone else onto this pylon.
Talking about no infections.
Station is currently undergoing a quarantine.
Right.
Milsect
And
is working to ensure that that quarantine is not broken.
we heard about the quarantine. Will it be able to move around Rhea as soon as you do a full once over and see that we're not injured and do like a blood test and see that we're not infected?
Once you've been Once you have been processed and cleared, you will have free access to Rhea.
God, appreciate that. I look back over to Joanne and I say,
We appreciate your cooperation.
Yeah.
It doesn't. He says that, but it does not sound. It does not feel reassuring to hear.
Yeah, like it was. I got that. It was great because it was just like it was very much just like a. You were gonna say that regardless of our interaction. That's just sort of the business line.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so I just look back at Joanna and say, "Get there some point. Maybe Starbus is how we get out of here." Because quarantine sounds pretty serious.
She turns her head over to you and just says,
Sorry, Lydia. I know I'm in your space. I'm just trying to whisper a little bit out.
just whisper over me. It's fine. It's fine.
It's literally
um,
what I'm doing, kid.
uh, Joanna says, more than you might know. Hey, there's something important at Starbus headquarters. Get there. We need to get there as soon as possible, frankly, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, now I got my curiosity. I was gonna beeline it straight from my parents, but if you're saying there's something real important for us there, like,
She says, "You can meet me there. I'm I'm fine being able to split up." And as she says that, as you're kind of starting to enter Rhea, you're starting to see first like one, maybe a handful of people out of the windows, and then the next thing you know as you kind of ascend into the first deck of Rhea, the streets are bustling and crowded with people, and there's a cacophony of noise that at first kind of hits you shockingly, as have become accustomed to how quiet the rest of the station had been.
yeah, no, that's a genuine like. I just look at them like, holy shit! Now you guys got but how you man? So many people. What the hell?
Almost, almost as if on cue. Well, not almost as a response. You hear one of the officers just say, "Rhea is being secured by Milsect."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. I can't believe that people are actually just being people.
Yeah, as you kind of gaze out into this residential block, um, you see a lot of the pavement choked with people moving up and down, busying themselves with seemingly everyday, ordinary things, though surprisingly cramped in sections as the streets are choked with traffic and with human bodies. Joanna just says, "I feel a little confident that we can at least split up a little bit. I want to make it a point that I want to get to Starbus headquarters as soon as possible. I know you have your parents to care for."
No, for sure. No, I'm actually still really caught off guard by this. I genuinely did not expect this many. I mean, it's cool. It's good news. It means that people are alive. I'm just terrified of the idea of what happens if the whale breaks. Like this is.
As you kind of speculate on that, the notion that you get is that this is like cramped in such a way that this is like sections of the city appear to be kind of congested in a way that feels like you would see something like this maybe back on Earth in like parts of a city, but not this like densely. This feels like almost every few blocks it's congested with people, as though if it seems like um, the space that's available is already being pushed to its limit.
I I ask, I speak up and I say, well, they got. Did you guys put all the Titan and all the Apodus on this place here too? Like, is Rhea the last bastion of everybody?
One of the officers says, Ray has been secured and quarantined from the other two pylons. Individuals that were able to make it here have been cleared and are being housed safely for the time being.
Can I ask you a real wacky question as a follow up? You ain't got to answer, but I want to ask it. If you got everybody on Rhea, are you just going to separate this pylon from the station and maybe get rescued by somebody else?
One of the officer responds pretty quickly, stating, "The matter of security is in the hands of Milsect at the moment. It is not your concern."
Sure.
After a few minutes, after some time, you guys pass through the first deck and head on to the third deck towards a precinct facility for Milsect, and are ushered into this precinct. You guys are it's kind of busied with a variety of uniformed officers, both in armor and in general fatigues. Kind of like there's a sense of kind of busied work happening as you and seemingly at least a handful of others are being actively processed at this
Have a
precinct.
so semi out of character. It's it semi out. If I can have a timeout, wasn't there
Sure.
something about? I'm trying to remember if I'm making this up. Wasn't there something about like a time limit where they might be just smoking the entire place out or something like that? Like
Good
just
news, Jackson. If you look towards the top-ish middle, there is a notification at the bottom there. Do you want to read it?
hold on to your butts.
Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry, that not that far down. Like at the bottom of the green cube rectangle.
36 hours, Milsect, the Nelly, and the Tennyson will be safe to board. Starting day two, 200 hours. Is that what we're talking about, or
Mm-hmm.
so clear the Nelly?
However, that's like the official thing. There was an insinuation that it would be cleared because Milsect had done something to make the station cleared for access to onboarding ships.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. I'm trying to remember how long that was until they did their thing to clear. Is that 36 hours from current time? Or is
Uh, th-
that.
I clarified that you got that notification starting 200 hours of the second day.
Oh, okay. There. Yeah, sorry. For some reason, that was hard for me to read. That makes sense.
No, you're good.
Uh,
I'm being meticulous and thorough as I always am.
so it'll likely be concluded at day three, 1400 hours.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. You got my attention.
Okay. while you are getting processed, we now will head back over to Colia. You kind of have spent a little bit of time in the meantime, kind of just waiting to see when people would show up or come back. Um, I always like this. I feel like I do know which one would be more likely to show up, but I do like a little bit of randomness. Give me high or low, Sean. High. High for. Okay. By truly a sliver. Here they say in the rulings to show the numbers. And truly, I don't know if you can this be? Can you see this? Do you see this?
See, okay, yeah, 59. That red one is real hard to see.
By 9%. But that's a good test too for other reasons. But yeah. You spent some time there, kind of like taking a rest, maybe a little bit, kind of snacking a little bit more. You found an apple somewhere. But eventually, Quincy kind of wanders
How are we
by.
getting apples on Tennyson?
Um, you have that thought, and then you turn it around, and weirdly, it's not branding from the sense of like it's been plastered onto it. It seems to just have been branded into the skin somehow. It is a product of. It is a product of IAC. You see the letters IAC branded into the skin of the apple, and it's edible.
Not a chance I'm going to be able to figure out who IAC is.
The
I was like, oh, maybe I should check the list, and then I remembered how long the list is.
Well, not that one. You have a smaller one on the left side of known corporations.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, I eat my apple.
You eat your apple. You
I eat my probably artificial apple.
you actually see Quincy wander in holding a kind of like crate container filled with a couple of other food items, and you see them walk in and place it like in a section near where you actually got that apple from. And they look over to you and they say, how are you doing?
Quincy, I was actually just wondering if there's anything other to eat around here, so your timing is perfect.
You this just tickles me. They open up the container and it is filled with more of these apples.
Well,
And
fuck.
guess what? Because it's even more evil. You are eating this apple. It's not only definitely tastes like a red delicious apple, but it doesn't look like a red delicious apple anymore.
So it's not even red. Well, I guess I'll be getting plenty of. The hell do you get from apples?
Sugar,
No doctors, I guess.
No doctors, yeah.
trace amounts of
I'll
caffeine.
be getting plenty of no doctors.
No doctors. No doctors. You had any luck?
Well, take a look. Show Quincy the artifact.
They kind of cock their head to the side and kind of stare at it just quizzically. They pause for a second and say, "Interesting." What exactly is it?
It's some kind of record from this ancient civilization. Not completely certain how to decode it as of yet, but I'm working on it. I actually have something to bring to you in Maison related to that. Uh, I don't know.
What did you have in mind?
The situation we are dealing with. Would you agree that it is bigger than just Tennyson?
I would say that the situation happening on Tennyson is at least isolated enough that so long as it does not leave the station, that it can stay remote to this location.
But don't you agree that with more things being unearthed on Titan and with Rosebud continuing to do experiments, that the likelihood of something like this happening again somewhere else is non-trivial?
I suppose there is always a risk factor when it comes to the inherent danger of this kind of material. That said, at least publicly speaking, have not been any accounts of anything like this happening before. The closest maybe being that record that we found earlier back in the hangar. The article certainly was anomalous.
Everything is an anomaly the first time it happens.
Speaking of which, I was just requested to offer some assistance to the people here. I've just been helping them move things around at the moment. I was able to find some information on IO that you had requested. You are still interested?
Yes, of course, go ahead.
One moment. Gotta love a diegetic one moment.
Uh-huh.
They start vibrating. No. They print it out of their eyeballs. No, that's not how their anatomy works. I've made it clear that their anatomy don't work that way. Here we go. Here, really fast before you look at this. Let me make sure there aren't any. I didn't have a chance to check for uh typos. So give me one.
Typos?
Hey, they happen, okay? You've seen me actively. Listen. You can't be surprised. You've seen me actively type checking while you're reading before. Okay, give me a second. And there definitely are typos, even though I swear I double checked. It's not my fault that Notepad doesn't have a spell checker.
A spell check. Use Google Docs or something.
Yeah, but then I would be using something that would make sense instead of arbitrarily using a notepad for some reason. I honestly don't know why I started using Notepad other than because it's like, I'm like, Notepad, it's where I take my notes. That really probably is the only reason why I use Notepad for this, not because it would make more sense to use Notepad.
If you were to use another tool, then you would have access to other features that would be useful for organization.
True, that's
You
fair.
could do formatting.
And it wouldn't all be stored on my computer, which probably would be better. Yeah, but can they make a document that's so many lines long that it looks like this on the right side?
I mean, if you want to, I guess. You can turn off page breaks in Google Docs.
That's true. I didn't consider that. Yeah, I probably should just use Google Docs, because that's also what I like about it is you can continually write down. I don't want it necessarily to be on pages. But hey, this is the process. That's for the next game, Sean. Sorry, you caught me too late. We're already over halfway through this one. They get me next time.
We're almost halfway.
Hey, I want to maintain we're definitely over halfway, and I want to also guarantee that my intent is the second half is going to start going faster than the first half.
But we'll just
Anyway.
wait till we get to the third half.
Dude, that's when shit gets real crazy. All right. There's a new document available on your datapad, though, if you would like to read it.
I'm still processing this.
Datum pad. Ah, good. Okay. Should I read this out loud?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
Don't know what else we're doing here if I'm not.
Frankly, there's an audience, Sean.
Catastrophe. Earthquake devastates. Devastates? We're not even one sentence in.
No way! I tripled. God damn it! I missed it. I'm sorry. I was trying. Fuck. How did I miss that one too? Okay, now we're good. I'm sorry. Jeez, I missed 2 of them. I need an editor really badly.
The third word. Okay.
Get serious. Damn it.
Catastrophe. Earthquake devastates Cherub City, Io. On Earth date November 5th, Io experienced another bout of heavy seismic activity, this time hitting one of Io's population epicenters, Cherub City, a massive sprawling atmosphere complex located below Grigori Space Station on one of Io's northern continents. It was struck by a massive earthquake, causing untold millions in damage and harm to the residents of this megacomplex. With one of the densest populations on Io at over 40,000 residents, this tragedy can only be remarked upon as catastrophic. Reports are still coming in regarding how many were injured in the aftermath of the seismic activity. And while researchers are still uncertain what the cause of this geologic instability is, the increase in volume and occurrence of this seismic activity has scientists concerned for the safety of Io's residents on the whole. Seismic activity over the last few months has already significantly increased and impacted the lives of thousands of individuals living across Io, with scientific data reporting instability increasing with time. Consisting mostly of mining and research outposts, much of Io is still largely unexplored due in part to remote nature, as well as its already smoldering surface and constant geological activity, making it a hotspot for study amongst many of the solar system's most esteemed geologists. As also, Soul Power, a resource and energy megacorporation known for their work on resource extraction and solar power generation technologies throughout the solar system, has been hard at work employing many of the miners and scientists studying on Io, utilizing their data and effort for extracting valuable resources that within Io's rocks. However, death rates from cave collapses and subsurface eruptions have put the company in serious hot water regarding the ethics of the conditions it is willing to put their workers in regarding Io and its current unstable nature. Many of the residents of Io themselves are concerned that even if they wanted to leave their homes there, many of them can't, as interstellar transit from this moon is extremely unaffordable, effectively landlocking many of the individuals on this incredibly active moon of Jupiter. Soul Power's stocks, however, continue to be on the rise in the wake of the devastation of Cupid City and the rest of Io. Much of the population of Io simply hopes that the moon will one day quiet down, and that everything can just go back to the way things were before, for many of the brave mining and research colonies first founded on Io's surface. Time will tell, however. Time does not seem to be in Io's favor. Martin Polin, Solar News and Documentation.
Is this satisfactory to you?
Kolya just sort of shakes his head and says, I don't know what else I expected. I guess I somehow hoped that I don't know.
Yes.
Hope that somehow I was wrong. But it seems that could not be so lucky.
Yes. It's quite unfortunate. It seems that over the course of the last few years, Io has steadily increased in seismic activity. There seems to be no report on the exact origin or complete understanding of what is causing this. I'm afraid to say.
Suffice to say, there's a reason I don't think these things are as disconnected as you might assume.
They tilt their head again, and they respond. How so?
Quincy, did I tell you what it was that we found on Isle before I left?
I don't believe so.
I was on one of these expeditions they're talking about. I knew the brave people who died. I was almost one of them. This was no this was no cave in or it was not. There's information that has been deliberately scrubbed from the reporting on this incident. Information that I've been trying to figure out how to reconcile myself.
As you say that, you actually notice something that might even surprise you a little. The expression on uh, Quincy's face kind of softens, and they actually sit down. I assume you're kind of like seated on the floor. That's kind of what I envisioned. They actually sit down next to you, uh, and they they say that sounds that sounds awful.
I This is not the first contact I have had with these. This is Arthensis. Those people that died, that are alluded to in this report. We were not. It was not a mining operation, per se. Or at least, this was not the outcome. What we found was some kind of ruins. Something that far predates anything that humanity could have created in our limited time on Io. When we first got to Tennyson, I will be honest, I thought I might have. I get these flashes sometimes that I don't know if they're real or if I'm imagining them. I suppose you could call it the PTSD of sorts. I haven't spoken with. Well, that's neither here nor there, I guess, but the first time we contacted Tennyson on our way in, we heard this sound, this screeching sound.
I remember.
I had to check if I was the only one who heard it or if everyone else heard it too, because it was the exact sound that I heard on that day in those ruins. Before the area collapsed, we tried to flee, but I was the only one who made it out.
That's terrible. Might I ask, is that partly the is it partly the reason why you took this job? Since that experience was so awful.
I'll be honest, when I took this job, I had no idea what we were in for here.
I
The
understand
first job
that.
I took after leaving was. I don't know. I thought that maybe if I just got away, things would blow over. Things find a way to work themselves out. I left as far away as I could to Neptune. This job here was just another way to make money anywhere else than home.
I
I
find it
suppose fate had other plans, though.
fate. You mentioning those things actually stirs some thoughts of my own. Believe it or not, I'm strangely in at least a relatable position, a relatable disposition. If you were. Not to say that I have had exactly the experience you had. If anything, the fact that this experience was the experiences you've had here were reminiscent to the past experiences in many ways, marks it as more remarkable than really anything that I have personally dealt with. That being said, I at least understand trying to move on or away from something that is not good for oneself. They kind of trail off and say, the condition of things. What do you make of it?
Things here on Tennyson?
Things everywhere.
I think that we're all a little bit caught up in the moment to moment, in day-to-day survival. The larger machinations of, whatever you want to say, society and the movements of the stars and the planets and whatever else is it passes by without consideration. That we're each just focused on our own slice.
So wide a horizon up here. For me, perspectives sometimes narrow. That makes sense to you. I can't say that I am as easily familiar with exactly how things are supposed. And I will have to admit, I am constrained, at least on some level, due to fundamental natures to myself. There is still the concern. Yes, I do mean concern. I and am familiar with concern. I did take this job. I hoped, I had mentioned before, I hoped spending time with Starbus would allow me to get away, go places I never would have gone before, even if it was just for a moment. Because even with a brief history as my own, I still have questioned why these places are so fractured, damaged. I appreciate talking about this. No, there was a hope that, if not better, at least, I don't know. At the very least, I feel that, as dire as this situation is, I am glad to have met people like you.
Like me, how?
There is a certain lack, if you will, kindness in spaces. And not necessarily even for expected reasons. They kind of look away and just say, I find it strange. There's a certain inconsistency with how people treat each other. Just still, I find curious in a certain way from a personal experience. The main thing I can assure you is that this is not a generalized case. Something that I was dealing with specifically that was a personal problem sense. Actually had frankly nothing to do with myself. It had everything to do with the situation that I was in. If that makes sense. Hence why I just find it puzzling. Hoping for something to be better, only to find something maybe even different. Still not good. Frankly, I still am figuring out how to process that.
Been I've been a coward, Quincy. I think I see what you mean about moving on to something new, hoping it would be better, and finding it's simply different. I think what I'm finally realizing, perhaps too late, is that situations do not improve unless we take action to improve them. Even if we do not see a way out. It is the effort that makes it.
They nod and respond after a moment, saying, and sometimes the best thing to do is still be able to make it through whatever situation you're. For you, it does sound like, though, if we make it through this situation, you make it through this. I want to believe for you that you can do something. At least for me, I can reassure. I will do my best to make it through this situation. Because I at least am resolved, knowing that it isn't the situation it's in.
Yeah. This leads me back to the comment I made before. If we are to improve things, if we are to make the best of the situations we find ourselves in, I believe it starts here, and it starts now. And it starts by taking our focus away from simply surviving this and putting our focus on the bigger picture. We need to understand what it is that is happening and not simply stop it from happening. If we don't understand it, then we will not be protected from similar things or anything else unexpected that could come up.
If you're looking over to Quincy as you finish your statement, you notice a very slight change in expression, almost like a wince. But then they kind of relax, and their expression returns to normal, and they say, "I'll do everything that I can to help."
We have to go back to Daimon.
Interesting.
And as Quincy is processing that, I pull out the artifact and I say, this thing is an artifact to us. But to the people who made it, it is not. It is simply an object. To us, it is strange. It is difficult to interface with, to understand, to interpret. To them, it was natural, or at least obvious. We have reason to believe, I think, that whatever is happening with these Xenox Lazari, it is shaping them in the image of whatever it is that they came from. We have this one opportunity where there is, at least as far as we know, for the time being, a contained and more or less docile one of these creatures. This may be our only opportunity to really understand what's going on with it. And if we can understand, then we can be armed not just to survive Tennyson, but perhaps Isle, perhaps Titan, and perhaps whatever else may come.
Certainly need to at least try to confer with Nazon. I know he is determined to get to Rosebud. So I think I see where you are going, and I do agree with you. You have my assurance that you have my support in going through with this. Ads are playing though right now, and we can't keep talking, unfortunately.
Have you ever had an infectious disease in your life?
See, I was gonna say,
Have you ever been?
No, go ahead.
Go for it. You ever felt like impending doom is looming and closing you in at any time? You're right. Give up.
Uh-huh. See, I was gonna say, Sean, what do you think an advertisement for these apples is?
I was just gonna say, like, are you sick of eating those grainy, discolored pears from
1985.
well, our scientists, agricultural experts here at ISA or whatever the fuck our name is have been hard at work to reproduce the original apple as God intended. Experience the bliss of real fruit for the first time in 50 years.
I do love the thought that the name of the product is Original Apple. It's just called Original Apple.
the primordial apple. Like,
They say that Eve took a bite out of one of these bad boys and it was downhill the rest of the way.
Experience the Garden of Eden for your own in your own backyard.
In your own
that's a winner right there. That sucks.
Fucking hell.
Hot Daniel.
I don't know how to feel about the fact that this bit has so many legs. It makes me mad. I think it's because we grew up in the aughts and we actually kind of had decent commercials. So I still remember like having fun with commercials at one point in my life.
Jeez.
God damn. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful nightmare. This roller coaster of a setting that we're going through. This is kind of what I was hoping. It was like I feel like I want to say we're definitively halfway over. I definitely want to start delving more into the dimensions of all the characters. So
there's a sliver of my soul that goes into the void every time you describe.
Over half. We are over half.
Even if you said 75, even if you said 60% right now, 65%, I'd be like, huh.
Really, there's nothing you could say at this point. You could be like, we're 90% done, and Jackson would still be like, really? 90?
Are you sure? God. Hey, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
We live for the meme.
We live for the meme. We die by the genuinely
Die by the meme.
Yeah, that's a pretty good mod title too. But yeah, I've really liked a lot of the interactions we've had today, and I like, and again, like I even want to be like, I'm glad that I've like really tried to establish, especially with like your situation, Jackson, with Fred. I really wanted to make it a point like there is something happening outside of your power. You actually haven't done anything to even deserve this treatment. Like I definitely want to make that clear. Yeah, like this isn't like you played the game wrong. Like no, like something is happening that is not normal. This is not normal.
Yeah.
It's a situation you're in, not a thing that you did.
I'm tracking. I'm just not sure what to pivot into.
Don't worry. I also have ideas what to do with it. Don't worry. It's not just haha, I took all your guns. Don't worry. There's a challenge here. There's a challenge in mind here that I think will be fun and help mix things up. So, it's not even going to be that big of a challenge. It'll be pretty obvious, I think, once you get there. But
the challenge will be fist fighting every guard in the area.
Box every officer. But no, I think you'll enjoy what's coming next. Speaking of which, ads are now done. Just to scope, because I mean, it is already.
It is 11.
Yes, almost 11.
Almost 11.
How much farther do you want to go?
That's directed at you, Jackson.
Oh, me? Oh,
it is
It's lunchtime for Sean.
You're the one who has bedtime.
I
We are
feel
the ones
like
with
10.
bedtime, and I could go definitely at least another half an hour to an hour.
Jeez. I'm always caught off guard by that.
I die for my work. This is my work, Jackson.
I know, and I'm always surprised because we've already been going over 3 hours. Like, I would say it's probably good to start wrapping up.
Yeah, I mean, we're at a decent stopping point already,
Yeah.
I feel like. So if we're
I think
gonna
that's fair.
stop soon, I think stopping now is probably the move.
Then I will end you on a hook, specifically with Fred. After being processed, you and Lydia and Joanna are actually seated down in kind of one of those boxed interrogation rooms. A few moments pass and a man enters the room. He let me see. Let me make sure. He sits down across the table from you. A kind of almost stone chiseled of a man, short, buzzed hair, a gaunt face, and he sits across, staring you three down. He's somewhat cold in his appearance, unlike Jensen, who, whilst being kind of rough around the edges, was still almost inviting as a person. This man is clearly very old, very harsh, and looks over you three sternly. He's adorned in a he's adorned with similar fatigues as Jensen was, without the armor, wearing the insignia of a sergeant and a white beret on his head, a white-colored beret on his head. He introduces himself and says, "My name is Acting Sergeant Ingolstead of Rhea. What are you doing on this pylon?"
Is that the end?
That's the end.
Okay.
Well, you'll have to deal with that next time.
I'll go second.
What's that?
I'll go second.
Uh-huh. You'll get a second to think of your response, so it better be good. One second. Let me see if I can spell my own character's name correctly from memory. My favorite little bit. I hope I'm not the only one who struggles with that. Nobody not say anything to that.
Started to really try to think about it.
I was just spacing out and I missed what you said.
Do you ever struggle to remember how to spell
the
one?
outro's starting. I'm moving on.
Oh, I see how it is. Listen, I'm trying to involve you guys more into it. I see all the fancy schmancy podcasters. They actually bicker over their outros. So,
Well, what are we doing right now? That's bickering.
Fine, asshole. No, do you ever struggle sometimes when you're trying to like remember how to spell a character's name from memory, or is that just me?
Not usually. I think I struggled a bit with Jurgen, but otherwise I was fine.
I do kind of routinely get a little. I've gotten to a point that I'm like, I think I originally named Joanna something different and then just started calling her Joanna.
I remember there being confusion about whether her name was Joanne or Joanna.
Fuck! I forgot! Uh,
To be fair, I think that was largely precipitated by us at the beginning of the game. Like, I think you gave her a name, and then we called her the wrong thing enough times that it just stuck.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I also feel a little responsible for just kind of forgetting a little bit after a certain point. It might have been Joanne, actually, now that you say it. Fuck. Oh no. People are gonna be watching like, who's Joanna? What happened to Joanne? Damn it. I'm gonna be like, fuck it. Joanne was one of her nicknames. Ah. Retcon.
I thought that was the case for, I don't know.
Well, originally I think I meant to have like Joe Stick as a nickname. Just never did
Oh.
that.
What about Oat?
What about Anna?
Anna? For Joe. Oh.
Anne, God, it does drive me a little bit crazy that technically speaking, Joanne and Joanna are two distinctly different names.
They
It's
really
just
are.
me being
They
lazy. Maybe I should have worked up a mental remembrance to be like Joanne, like the fabric store, not Joanna, the lizard from Rescuers Down Under.
Wow, what a pull.
I love that movie, and I feel like I went back and rewatched it. Still fucking holds up. Great ass movie. Love that movie. Love that film. So good.
Love that for you.
Thank you. Actually, one of my favorites. Has John Candy as an albatross. He's great. Anyways, thank you for joining, everybody. Now we're starting the outro. Before we go, we're gonna do one more thing. At the end of every stream, I have to draw a picture in 60 seconds in Paint, and you guys are gonna help me. We're gonna come up with a prompt together, and you guys can participate in chat as well. All you gotta do is type in chat, type like a word, like a noun or a subject or something you can add. And I'll take everything that we all say, and we will make a prompt together, and then I have to draw it, and then I'll share it before we rate out. So if you want to do that, we're gonna start doing that now. What do we want to do for the outro drawing?
Ooh.
Shaving.
What was that?
Shaving.
I don't think I caught it the second time. You got quieter.
Shaving.
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 My brain went on a tangent because we were talking about Joanne versus Joanna, and your Joanna poll was good. My Joanna poll was the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Shaving.
Because for whatever reason, that song, the song titled Joanna, gets stuck in my head weirdly often, considering I've seen that movie exactly once in my life.
I was gonna say I've never seen that movie or musical. Yes.
That's not bad. Yeah. Musical,
Sweeney
yeah.
Todd. We were talking about Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd, yeah.
I know it was a big deal in high school. I just never. I think actually my school might have put on a student performance of Sweeney Todd. Maybe actually, it's kind of
That's
incredible.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaving Joanna down to Joanne. What, you want to add anything?
That's the fucked up part, is that I guess you can spell it just A-N-N. I pictured it as Joanne, in which case it's not even shaved down. The same number of letters.
See, and that's maybe where the confusion was, because I might have actually spelled it Joanne, thinking that's Joanna, but I guess technically no, because that would imply that the E. I fucking hate. Well, I don't even know if this is a hate of English. It just depends on where the name Joanna phonetically comes from. I don't know.
Or
I don't.
Anne in general.
Yeah. Uh, Jackson, you want to add anything to that?
Uh, we're shaving while in a cop car, very close together, just smushed together.
While in a cop car. Boy, this will be fun, because I also have to do this with keyboard and mouse, since I'm using my drawing screen right now for everything that's on screen right now, so I can't use that. I can do it.
It is
I'm a
fun.
big baby.
Oh, big baby.
I'm the biggest baby.
A large baby.
I'm a big, large child. I'm the heftiest child you'll ever meet. I'm hefty for my age. As a child.
I'm full of heft.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is a fun thing. I don't know. I think I need to upgrade my RAM, which is really bad, especially right now. I'm noticing. I'm like, why am I having some weird lag for my mouse? That's not good. That's not good.
That is not good.
That. I mean, I don't know what's happening in this picture to a certain extent, but I kind of like it in a weird way. It certainly is a description of exactly. Oh boy, I have to remember what Jackson's character looks like off the top of my head, and I don't. Shit.
I look pretty scriggly.
Uh-huh. Well, stick around to see that picture. Stick around to the very end. We also do a bit of a closing bit. We do raid at the end of every stream, so that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. Just everybody else out there, remember to lock your doors and windows. It is almost lunchtime for vampires and Sean. And thank you for joining, everybody. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you're able to join the live show, thank you for stopping by and chatting and watching. And if you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to going back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this, and you want to see more of what we're up to, I do recommend scrolling down below and following, or clicking any of the links. There's a link to all the socials below and the Discord. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to. And you should just check out the Discord here anyways. It's a good time in there. It's probably the best way to keep up with everything that we're doing, and there's just good people in there. And you can also post anything. Well, most anything. No, maybe not anything. You can post a lot of things. You can honestly post a lot more things than you probably should be able to, but not anything. There are some things that I don't let you post. Speaking of which, though, a shout out to our community on that Discord and everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience, and we appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure also hashtag with MCCanary or link it back to the stream so people can find more of the good stuff we do here. And as always, on that note, if you want to see the stream grow, you just got to let people know. As always, I appreciate you all talking about the stream, and I do encourage you guys to do it more. It's a good way to help us out. It's just super cool that you guys are willing to do that, and it's every little bit does help. So the only other way that people really learn about the stream is when you tell them about it. The only advertising I do is I post when I go live, and I do nothing else. I don't pay for any advertising. So if you really thought this was neat, you should go and tell people about it. Go tell somebody about this game. If you're enjoying this game, go do it. And maybe tell them to tell somebody. I guess I can't make you do that. I can't make you even tell somebody. I can only ask you. So ask them to tell somebody else if they enjoy it. So, um, otherwise, I won't tell people. I won't. I won't. And as always, a huge thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon, Coffee, and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream as well as take on more projects. And the stream would not be made possible without viewers like you. So we thank you. As always, if you want to see your name added to this list, as well as some other benefits you can get, you could always subscribe directly on Twitch or check out the Patreon and Coffee here. Those places will show you everything that you can get, and any amount is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. I do have commissions available on Ko-Fi for any of the Magic tokens. So if you were at MagicCon and you didn't get a chance to get a token, you can always reach out to me through there. And you can just reach out to me in general on Discord. Just make sure to also, like, you know, kind of connect with people on the Discord, establish a little bit of rapport, get to know me, I get to know you, and just generally, you know, just be chill. And I'd be happy to draw something for you if you'd be interested in that. Otherwise, as always, a huge thank you to and thank you to our mods who do a wonderful job holding back the robot army and preventing going famous. Well, thank you, Sean and Jackson, for playing another session of Mothership with me. I had a fantastic
You're almost
time.
halfway there.
We are over halfway. I want it.
It's so nebulous.
We are over half. We are over
Like
half.
51% is over halfway there. That's how much.
At least 51%.
That's all you need to do to take over a company is 51%.
Well,
we got coup d'etat on our hands. Sorry.
do you guys have any housekeeping? If not, I'm workshopping a bit.
No, I don't have a house.
In order to still have some to involve you guys more with the ending bit, what's just something, what's something good, what's something feel good, like something good that you heard recently, something you learned recently, maybe just something that made you happy recently. What's something good in the world right now?
Just go for it. Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of new music this week because I haven't been doing that for a while. And one of the new artists that I've checked out is Dochi. I've been sort of meaning to get into Dochi for a while. Gotta say, Alligator Bites Never Heal beats ass. That's a good ass. Technically a mixtape. Is a good ass album.
You might have to, because that name sounds familiar. I feel like I recognize it from, like, maybe something. I don't know. I recognize the name. Jackson, you have any input?
Yeah. Mine's less of a thing I've heard, but more of like a mental state that I've like achieved. Like a positive mental state where, gosh, how do I not take like 10 more? I'm trying to give you like the 3 sentence version if I can.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been maybe not like scared to move away, but like there's something here in Texas I've been wanting to stick around for to try to do. Like we talk about the voice acting stuff now and then. And I feel like, moving away might be like giving up on that dream. And so my thought was like, oh, what do I do with the rest of my life? I realized that we literally have skills. Like, we have things we can do. Like, even this week, even the past couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, I was like, I suddenly felt the itch again to be like, I don't know, maybe I do make a video game. Like, for real this time. Like, for real. And it's like, you can be anywhere and do that. So, it was, the punchline is that, or make music. I talk about that once in a blue moon. There are things you can do from anywhere, and you can always have dreams. And that was kind of what I thought about in the last like week or two. So
Yeah, I like that. I also want to say I actually had one added. I've been listening to a lot of NPR recently, and I learned today that there are things called dark parks with the intention that they minimize and reduce light pollution as much as possible, so that way people can see stars easily again. That's a real thing.
That
That just
that's
makes me
cool.
really happy. Yeah, right? Right? There you go. On that note, thank you for joining, everybody. You can find everyone else's stuff here in Goblin Entertainment. That link tree has links to everyone's channels and everything that they have done and they've been up to. You can also find more of my stuff here, which has everything that I post to. So I recommend, if you enjoyed this, definitely go check out. If you enjoyed this, definitely go check out the VOD channel, especially if you came in late on this, and you want to see also if this was one of the first times watching or listening to us playing Mothership together. You can find all the VODs for it on YouTube, all the way from the beginning, all the way back from October. We're over halfway. But really, my goal is to have this done before like October, if not
The
before.
next October?
Definitely before the next October. That is my goal. If it hits October, you guys can be mad at me. I do not want to have this go
That's
that
when we
long.
get to be mad. That's when it.
I mean, you
If
can be
you
mad
get
at me
this-
whenever, but you're the most
this-
justified if we hit to October, because I will be disappointed in myself. But no,
That's where the
yes.
line. If we hit October, you don't get to add another activity. We do this. We continue this one. This is the thing. You don't get a new thing.
Yes. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. Other than that, yeah, you can find all the stuff there. As for everything else that we're doing for the rest of the week, tomorrow should be doing some more games with James and Aqua. We might do the finals, we might do something different. We're kind of discussing mixing things up every now and then. And then Friday, I should be depending if you're available again. I mean, I do want to work on my animation no matter what, but if you're available, Jax, you kind of implied something with the thing that you were saying that we might do a thing. So
I would very much still like to do that. The passion's in my body, and I'd been planning on that. So yeah.
well, I don't know how I feel about the way that you phrased that, but
I found
Body's ready.
his body is ready.
I don't know if you're being secretive about it, but I found a comic that I thought was really cool, or really fun, really funny. Just a kind of a delight. And I was like, I haven't just done any sort of project in a while. So want to make sort of a clip, feature our voices, throw together some music, some sound effects, and bring this thing to life.
Yeah. We might do that Friday, and then Saturday I think there's a big update in Star Citizen anyways, so hopefully we'll be doing more Star Citizen on Saturday, and then it'll be back around on Monday, and it'll be Sean and I doing more I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. So we're probably close to the end of that game as well. So if any of that interests you, again, highly recommend following, clicking any of the links, any of the places that you follow. Definitely get on the Discord. That'll keep you informed on anything that on when those are coming up, and just generally keep being cool. Keep being cool, guys. Keep being cool cats, or dogs, or any kind of creature that you feel like. Maybe even human, but I don't know. I don't trust those. Anyways, you guys are wonderful. I have gone on record that I specifically didn't want to take anatomy or didn't want to be involved with human biology as a kid because I liked animals more than people, and I'm not joking.
Fair.
So, but yeah, other than that, yeah, no. This was great. I had a great time, and you guys are awesome. We appreciate you. Stick around. We'll go say hi to someone. I don't know if this person might be wrapping up. I don't know if they're going to be going. Well, we'll try rating Tamisa, and if they end up, you might be immediately re-rated afterwards. So, because it is kind of late for her as well. But we'll still go say hi to her real quick. She's playing Pikmin. She's a good gal, so stick around for that. Otherwise, everybody have a good evening. Take it easy. Appreciate you all. Jackson, is there anything you would like to tell the audience? Oops, clicked the wrong one. I almost clicked the right one.
Yeah. I don't normally get to do a Friday thing. I'm actually really excited for it. So come back Friday. I'm genuinely jonesing for it. Maybe we'll rope in Sean for like an hour as well. I don't know.
Sean, is there anything you'd like to tell the original Apple?
Eve did nothing wrong.
Were we live when we discussed how the existence of the red delicious apple is kind of a sin against nature and God?
We haven't been live this whole time.
I listen, I know where you live. I know where I am in the same town as you. I can have my butt over to your house breaking down the door in 10 minutes.
Oh, someone's got a car over here. All right, I get it. Waving that privilege.
But red delicious apples are bullshit.
Yeah, they're bad.